The first debate for the 2025 general election is set for this Saturday, August 23. That's the word from the Jamaica Debates Commission. The JDC says the first debate will focus on social issues. The second, which will be held on Tuesday, August 26, will focus on the economy. The first and second debates will feature three-person teams from the JLP and the PNP. The final debate for August 28 will be a leadership showdown between the Prime Minister and the opposition leader. All three debates, yes, each of them will last for 90 minutes. All right? Meanwhile, the PNP and the JLP, there's a raging controversy dispute now over the blacklisting of journalists from Nationwide by, no surprise, the PNP. Yes, they have blacklisted all journalists. They say they will not accept any journalist from Nationwide. And in the case of one of the moderators proposed by the Debates Commission, or Deputy Executive Editor, George Davis, the PNP over the weekend said, if George is a moderator, they will not show. It's a deal breaker. We don't know if that continues because they had not put that in writing up to, I gather, early this morning. But here's Tonna Thomas' report on that.
The PNP have told the Jamaica Debates Commission they will not participate in the debates if any journalist from NNN is listed among those asking questions of debaters across the three debates. The PNP said NNN reporters Ricardo Brooks and Tonna Thomas were unwelcome additions to the slate of questioners in the debates. The party went further. It told the commission that the presence of George Davis is a deal breaker, noting that any debate that Davis is a part of in any capacity will be boycotted by the PNP. The PNP has also trained its fire on RJR host Emily Shields. Shields is not understood to be part of the lineup of questioners and moderators. But the PNP says, given her past association with NNN, it would boycott any debate she's a part of. This position appears to underline how vehemently the PNP is opposed to anyone with any affiliation to NNN participating in the debates. It's understood the JLP went into last Friday's meeting with the Debates Commission with no block list. The parties understood to have told the Commission that all journalists from all media entities should be free to participate in the three debates and that it had no objection to any individual or media house. But the PNP, represented by Colin Campbell, made it clear it would not participate if any NNN journalist was on the list of hosts and moderators. That's when the JLP reportedly hit back, saying that given the PNP's objections, it would then have to object to certain individuals being present. The PNP have issued a statement condemning what they say is a breach of protocol by the JLP for issuing a press release about the private deliberations of the Debates Commission concerning the selection of the questioning and moderating panel. The JLP fired back, denying it issued any such media release. The Jamaica Observer has since published an article clarifying that the JLP issued no statement about the private deliberations of the Debates Commission. Tonna Thomas for Nationwide News.
Thank you, Tonna. Well, firstly, what is it that George Davis, Ricardo Brooks, and Tonna Thomas could ask the PNP debaters that's driving such fear into them, that they do not want the three on the panel? What is it that George, Ricardo, and Tonna could ask the PNP debaters? Why they are such, why are they so vehemently opposed to the point where their representative on the Debates Commission, Colin Campbell, a former journalist, has reiterated several times that it's a deal breaker if George Davis is moderating the debate on the economy. In other words, they're prepared to walk away from the debate. If any nationwide journalist is participating, what power do we have that they are so afraid of us? What? That's a question I've been asking myself since this issue emerged over the weekend. George, Brooks, and Turner. Why wanna make the PNP people afraid of you? You want to tell me, say, the PNP leaders can't manage George, Turner, and Brooks? Think about it. What is it they are afraid of? I'll have more on this after the break. So let me begin this segment by looking at the role of the national debates in the electoral process of Jamaica. The debate started back some 23 years ago, in about March 2002. Yeah? And it started on the initiative of the Media Association of Jamaica and the Jamaica Chamber of Commerce coming together to implement a series of national debates that were dubbed Jamaica Votes. The name Debates Commission was informally adopted and then subsequently evolved into the Jamaica Debates Commission. And in the first iteration of the debates in 2002, there were 3 debates planned: economic development issues, social development issues, and governance. Yes? Bruce Golding, Audley Shaw, Omar Davis, and Burchell Whiteman debated. The leaders' debate between P.J. Patterson and Edward Siaga took place on October 10, 2002. And both debates were carried live on the major media outlets in the country. The role of the debates is principally to test and scrutinize actions, conduct, policies, plans of those who aspire to lead, to see how they stand up under scrutiny, to see how the leaders on that podium perform under the glare of the lights, how well they're able to articulate their views and to stand up under pressure. Yes? It is part of the development of the democracy. In fact, I posit this morning that debates are a sign of a maturing democracy. 2002, we were 40 years old as an independent country. 40. And for the first time, we had debates. And it's a sign of the maturing of the democracy, because the debates serve to shift the contest of ideas, policies, and actions from the political battlefields on the streets, where we have descended into violence and mayhem in the not too distant past, you know. That's why we have debates. We are to have those contests of ideas in front of the camera so the Jamaican voter can look on and assess who is signaling that they're better able and prepared for the job of governing. That's what the debates are for. And that's why the debates ought to take place with the full participation of the major contenders for high office in Jamaica. Let us not lose sight of that. But, and this is where it gets rough on us, there have been attempts to fix the debates, to set the wicket, to give one or two of the parties an advantage. And that's what we're seeing here by Colin Campbell and the PNP. In other competitive democracies, where national debates are now almost routine activities in the run-up to parliamentary and presidential elections, the debates are organized by commissions of well-thinking persons outside of the political parties. The commissions or the commissioners have to so conduct themselves, that they can command the confidence and trust of the public and the political parties. The best practice is that the commissioners choose the panel of moderators and questioners. Why? Simple. If the political parties are allowed to do so, what that would mean? They would have virtually veto power over that most critical of decisions in organizing the debates. Yeah, because in a free and fair democracy, there will always be perceptions about the politics of journalists and commentators over time. Yeah, over time. I've gone through iteration of being branded a dirty PNP boy from East Kingston, turncoat now Labourite. Yeah, I've been at it for 40 years. I do commentaries, and therefore people form their perception. Wrong or right? So you cannot allow political parties to decide who is a moderator or a commentator. Because if you do that, we are where we are this morning, where one party, the People's National Party, says not one person from Nationwide must be a debater or a questioner or moderator. Not one. Yeah? And what that does, it places all those journalists in danger of the political goons in the PNP. Not for the first time they are doing this to us. Not for the first time. So what do they want? They want the Debates Commission to set up an accreditation committee of their choice, like what they had in the 70s. If you were not a committed socialist or comrade, you couldn't get a job in the public service. That is what they want now. An accreditation committee that says, oh, journalist A is one of us, so they must be on. Journalist B is not one of us, so he can't be on. That cannot work. It cannot work. I told you the debate started in March 2002. And from then, they blacklisted me. From then, they blacklisted me. I think, and I say this with all humility, I'm one of the best this country has produced. I am one of the best. One Cliff Hughes. And they have always blacklisted me. And now they seek to extend that because they are afraid of journalists who are smart, tough, know public affairs, articulate, and brave. That's why they want to blacklist us. The Jamaica Debates Commission must summon the courage and tell the PNP, enough is enough. You don't get to pick and choose the panel. Now, where NNN is concerned, they have been attacking us over the last 20 years, over 4 election cycles. They punish us in several ways. They put our lives at risk. From their political platforms in front of their enthusiastic supporters. They encourage them to hate us. They speak openly of shutting down NNN. And that has become even more so with the September 3 elections looming. Well, I want you to hear me. After 20 years, you have not succeeded, and you will never succeed in silencing us. We are facing an existential threat as a media organization from the People's National Party. My staff feel threatened, abused, verbally attacked. They even fired shots at our location. And we have not bowed. We will not bow or cower to you. We will stand proudly with our professionalism intact. We'll continue to cover you all fairly in our news bulletins, in our commentaries. But we will never be intimidated or bow to you. Jamaica demands no less of us. My late great headmaster, Wesley Powell, told me, as a 12-year-old boy in 1974, entering Excelsior for the first time, you're all here because of your country. Your country is financing your education. You have a duty to make the best of that opportunity and to serve your country. I have chosen to serve my country as a journalist and broadcaster, public commentator. I don't serve political parties. We will not bow to you. Stop it. After 20 years, you ought to stop it by now. Learn